to go all the way back to January of this year, the last time we had a single digit at nighttime or daytime for that matter here in the Great Lakes Bay area. Temperature-wise, not feels like, not wind chills, but actual temperatures. International Falls looking at 17 below zero. Minneapolis, St. Paul at 0. Bismarck, North Dakota started off at 7. Over to Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh had an overnight low of 20. Chicago at 11. Even down into Louisville, Kentucky, they were below the freezing mark overnight last night. And a little bit further to the west where it was colder, Kansas City 17, Omaha, Nebraska looking at 17 as well. The cold moon, some of you might have had the opportunity to take a look at the moon. It's almost to full moon status. Full moon officially will be on Sunday morning. And again, as I said, we call it the full moon, the cold full moon. High pressure right now is located over Detroit, which is probably the reason why the barometer is what it is. Matthew, what do we have on the thermometer right now?
Well, over at the airport, it's mostly sunny at 17. Over in Midland, it's sunny at 18. Here, Radio Center, it's mostly sunny at 16. We have northwest winds at 5 miles per hour, and our pressure's at 30.70, and it's rising.
By the time the day is all done, we're going to continue to see mostly sunny skies. 21 is our projected high temperature, so we've got a little ways to go, not all that much, but given the time of the year and the cold weather that we have been experiencing, it's going to be a push to get there, but I think we should. 10 for an overnight low tonight. Southeast breeze under 5 miles per hour. We'll have a few clouds around, but not much at all. Sun will set this evening at 5 o'clock. You'll see it. Sunrise tomorrow morning, and you should see it as well at 8:02. Clouds will be increasing as we go through the day tomorrow. 33 will be our projected high. 31 is all the colder it's going to get on Saturday night and early Sunday morning. Then Sunday, we're going to be looking at a pretty good chance of seeing on-again, off-again shower activity. Nothing really much. If we get a tenth of an inch, that's going to be about it. But the key, as we mentioned the last couple of days, is going to be on Saturday night. The possibility of seeing some frozen precipitation with that temperature hovering right around the freezing mark. We are going to be looking at some freezing rain on late Saturday night, early Sunday morning. So that late Saturday night, if you're out on the road, or Sunday morning, especially with early service at church, it does appear as though you might run into some pretty slick roads and definitely some slick sidewalks and parking lots. So be very, very careful. Shower activity on again and off again, as we said, on Sunday. 43 for a high. 36 is all the colder it's going to get on Sunday night. Still going to be a chance of a shower here and there, but those temperatures are going to be hanging right up there. Monday, still a chance of some precipitation. It will be all liquid. 50 is our projected high for Monday. 33 for Monday night. Then during the day on Tuesday, we won't be quite as warm. After a low of right around 31, 32 degrees on Monday night, we'll get up to 34, 35 degrees for a high on Tuesday. We will have a chance of seeing some snow shower activity, especially later in the day on Tuesday and Tuesday night. 28 is going to be our low. Then on Wednesday, mostly cloudy, 35 for a high, 22 for a low. On Thursday, still some clouds around, 32 for a high. So as you can tell, gradually slipping back down into cooler conditions. Now, the long range, take us all the way through Christmas Day, is for our temperatures to be working pretty close to normal, which is 35 in the afternoon and 24 at night. Right now, as we approach Christmas, it does, the average is 32 for a high and 20 for a low. So it's openly possible here to see some snow for Christmas Day, because one thing is for sure, our temperatures are going to be a lot more conducive to getting some snow than it has been for the past few years on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. Record high on this date is 60. It was set back in 2015. The record low 3 below zero, set in 1960. What are we looking at as far as the coldest ever? 13th of December, 1962. 13 was our high, 5 was our low. The warmest ever, you kind of guessed it, 2015. 60 was our high, 44 was our low. And you got to go back about 7 years, 2017. On this date, we had 6.1 inches of snow out at MBS International Airport. So that, in a nutshell, is what everything is doing as of right now. Matthew, standing by. Who have we got?
Up next, we have Cody Harris from Star of the West, and we also have Doug Klein from Oppenheimer.
But before we get to them, we want to remind you the weather forecast brought to you by the folks at Nutrient Ag Solutions.
Nutrient Ag Solutions has the local expertise to recommend the corn, soybean, and other seed products that are the best fit for your field. Plus, unparalleled agronomic support with products and services to unlock yield potential and improve crop performance from planting to harvest. Ask about our financing options to help you get more from every acre and lead the field. Visit your local Nutrient Ag Solutions branch or go to nutrientagsolutions.com.
They say there's a secret to growing a great crop. At Nutrient Ag Solutions, they beg to differ. It all starts with a strong foundation, and when it comes to fertilizer, there's no question that Titan XE drives dry fertilizer performance. They've been unlocking the potential in every prill of dry fertilizer with biocatalyst technology for over a decade. Visit lpi.ag/Titan or contact your Nutrient Ag Solutions crop consultant to drive your crop's potential today. Farm Service brought to you today by the folks at Freeland Bean and Grain. You know, they are your Dairyland seed dealer. They're carrying the full line of corn and enlist soybean seed, proven weed control, which is designed to get you a better harvest. Justin Varner, he's the guy to talk to. Remember, Dairyland Seed. We've got seed with your name on it from your friends at Freeland Bean and Grain since 1983. We're serving you is their business. We say good morning to Cody Harris over at Star of the West. Cody, how's things looking here on this Friday?
I wish I wasn't going to be the bearer of bad news, but we're kind of coming into the weekend on a lower note for sure, Terry.
You drew the short straw, did you?
Yes, I did. I see why Gary didn't want to do this here today. So. A lot of pressure in the market.
I guess. What's going on?
Well, it seems like, we're giving up a lot of the basically post-report gains across the board, kind of diving into each commodity. As far as corn's concerned, it seems like even though export pace is running ahead of schedule, and looking at that newly revised estimate that we got this week, it appears that demand's slowing. If you kind of look at some numbers, last week's export sales of 37.3 million bushels were down about 30 million bushels from the week prior, so that might be an indicator. Maybe some slowing demand as far as our U.S. corn is concerned. And we're starting to get a little pressure from Argentina. Those corn values are also weakening, and that's given our corn exporters here in the U.S. a lot more competition, especially along with Ukraine, than previously expected. And then we're kind of looking, like we've been talking about, it seems like the last couple months or so, a lot of good beneficial weather in South America and Brazil. It seems all areas of South America are likely to get covered over these next few weeks, and even in the mid-January is looking to be good, maybe kind of closing out a window for a hot and dry pattern and set in. So good weather down there has really got some of the South American even agencies kind of maybe increasing some production of corn and soybeans across the board just because of the beneficial weather as of late. So that's really what's driving the market here at the end of the week, Terry.
Because we had that report. Was that yesterday on South America?
Yeah, we had the CONAB report, which is basically their version of the USDA that came out yesterday. And kind of the big number was, I think they pegged the Brazil soy production at just over 166 million metric tons. That is just a little shy of what the USDA had of 169 million metric tons. But then if we look even diving into those numbers, it seems like the kind of their NAS version, their statistics division down there, which is ABIOVE, they raised the production to match the USDA. So we got a lot of movement in the upward direction as far as soybeans and corn are concerned. That's putting a little pressure here.
Now, I've been told that the foreign markets, they've been steady, but that some of the folks are telling me that there's going to be a little bit of a surge, they think, before the end of the year. Have you heard that?
I know personally, I haven't heard that. If you look at some numbers, that's definitely could play a factor. Like I think I said earlier this week, we were definitely front end loaded on corn as far as Mexico is concerned. But as we kind of look into the marketing year or into the new year, we may see some others step in. Like I said, we're kind of looking at China to maybe step in and be some players here in the export market, and especially with the prices especially on the soybean side of things, and the pressure we've been seeing that over the last few weeks, that may help us out and increase some demand as these prices have coming down to some pretty, not historic lows, but recent lows as of late.
Yeah. So right now on the board, what do you have?
Right now, we have cash wheat that's down 7 at the moment, 532 on the white, 457 on the red. New crop 2025 wheat that's down 6, 569 on the white, 484 on the red. And then looking over at corn, cash and new crop corn is down 2 at 372. And cash and new crop soybeans are down 9 at 907.
You have a great weekend, Cody.
Thank you. You as well.
Will do. Cody Harris over at Star of the West. Doug Klein from Oppenheimer joining us right now. The Market Report brought to you by Some Bank, making agricultural loans since 1895. They help you stay to date on industry trends and the trends of your operation as well. Some Bank and Trust, where relationships are built on trust. They've got locations throughout the Thumb and the Great Lakes Bay region. Equal opportunity lender and member FDIC. Market Report also brought to you by Schaefer and Beerline. Hey, if you're in the market for a new Ram professional truck or a heavy-duty truck, and you want to buy with confidence from a business-think dealer that knows what customer satisfaction truly is, it is time to go to Schaefer and Beerline in Frankenmuth, where family and service sells cars. Doug, good morning.
Well, good morning. Happy Friday.
Yes, it is. Happy Friday the 13th. Is there any lucky people out there?
Yeah, the crude traders are doing okay, but we don't like them, so not so great. Yeah, everything else is kind of sort of a little bit in the red, not a big deal. Dow Chemical had a new low today. Nucor had another new low today, so they're kind of getting ugly. I mean, 26% year-to-date down, so I don't know. They made it all the way to 203 back in April. So now they're 127. So, like I said, 26% down year to date. So the steel business isn't so good, and that kind of sort of maybe, I don't know, maybe it predicts that we're not going to use so much steel in the near-term future. I don't know. So anyway, that's going on. Tesla hit a new high today. Canadian dollar hit another 4-year low today, so that's really hurting. I don't know. I'm just looking forward to a good sale on wood shavings, for the horses, or maple syrup for my waffles. Stuff like that should get cheaper, right?
Well, sure.
Unless we get a 25% tariff on the thing, then nothing goes right. Anyway, so like I said, we're kind of in the red. The May corn is 441.5, down 2 cents. September corn 434.5, down 2 3/4. The March soybeans 993.25, down 10. September soybeans 1001.5, down 9. March wheat is 552.25, down 6 1/4. And September wheat is 580.75, also down 6 3/4. The crude oil is 70.47, up 81 cents. Heating oil, $226.79, up 3.1 cents. Gasoline's $2.17. That's up 1.3 cents. Natural gas, $2.76, down 3 cents. Over to currencies, Canadian dollar, U.S. dollar buys $1.4233 Canadian. That's up another 13 ticks. The dollar buys 153.71 yen. That's up 109 ticks. The euro's at 104.99, down 32 ticks. The dollar's at 106.99, up 37 ticks. So a lot of big moves there. Gold's at 26.6170, down 25.80 an ounce. Silver's 30.63, down 60 cents. Platinum's 9.23, down 17.70. Copper's 4.1920, down 5 1/4 cents.
Okay.
A little shaky at the end of the year here.
It sounds that way. Well,
yeah.
Hopefully we can cure that.
Dressed up rest up for the weekend and hit her hard Monday.
Get it going. Yeah.
Yeah.
You have a nice weekend.
Thanks, Tim. You
Thanks,
too.
Doug. Doug Klein over at Oppenheimer. Farmers, you need ways in this market to put a profit on your bottom line. Well, it starts with saving half the cost of seed before you even get started. High Fidelity Genetics offers non-GMO seed corn and soybeans that qualify even for organic production. You get high quality, high yielding seed at half the price. Test plots are proving that you get the best for less with High Fidelity Genetics. Plus, you get more savings if paid by the end of the year. Find out more by going online at highfidelitygenetics.com. Start today and save. Go online or call 515-434-7333. Coming up next, Matthew, who do we have?
Up next, we have Craig Voorhees from the Rummel Insurance Agency.
But first, this.
One certainty in agriculture is that just when we think we have things figured out, new and old challenges will arise. 2024 proved to be another unique growing season with plenty of abnormal weather. The sugar beet industry has once again been presented with problematic disease and pest issues. The good news is that we have learned from these experiences and have the necessary resources available to adjust and ensure a successful 2025 sugar beet crop. ACH Seeds looks forward to growing with you.
This is Peter Maxwell, your ACH Seeds independent sales agent. With the first year of field production under our belt, we have gained valued experience with our new 200 series of varieties. The knowledge gained will help us to do an even better job of variety placement for 2025. Choosing the right variety will be even more important with the transition to a new quality payment system. Seed supplies are good, and I'm excited to help growers sort through the variety choices. I look forward to hearing from you and working toward continued success. Thanks again for partnering with ACH Seeds.
ACH Seeds, growing with you.
Farm Service brought to you today by the folks at Michigan Truck Spring of Saginaw, your complete parts and service headquarters for light, medium, heavy-duty trucks, trailers, as well as buses and recreational vehicles. Very competitive prices on parts and service. They've been doing it for over 45 years. 800-358-4751 or buy online at truckspring.com. And don't forget, they are open weeknights until 11 o'clock. Who do we have on tap with us right now, Matthew?
Up next, we have Craig Voorhees from the Rummel Insurance Agency.
Craig, good morning. How are you this morning?
I'm doing well, Terry. How about yourself?
Hey, we're doing real well. Now, there's a lot of folks that usually by the end of the year like to pick up some new equipment or some new vehicles. Any suggestions?
You're right, Terry. Despite the crop prices, we're seeing the usual fury of activity at the year end here with those kind of purchases. Just like you said, folks are maybe buying a tractor, maybe buying a pickup, a side-by-side, something fun like that. If you're making any of those changes to your equipment, it's never a bad idea to check in with your agent and make sure your policy is up to date to cover that new piece of equipment or new vehicle. Vehicles tend not to get overlooked, but sometimes they do. And so, again, it's just a good thing if keep that in your list of things to do as you're purchasing this stuff. Let your agent know that you've got some new iron on the farm.
You know, we've had a lot of comments going to several meetings so far, comments coming to me about the costs and how they have gone up on like insurance and some of these things. Being an independent agent really helps, doesn't it?
It does, Terry. We're not tied to one company. We have several different options for farmers and producers, so we can shop for them. They don't have to take on that task, and we've been doing an awful lot of that for our folks with the way the market's been the last year and a half. So not that we're always doing it, but we're just maybe putting a little extra effort into it now just because of the way things are.
All right. Craig, you have a nice weekend. We'll talk to you again next week, okay?
We will do that. Thanks, Terry.
You betcha. We'll be right back. And then, Matthew, who do we have on tap?
Up next, we have Eric Sawatsky from Yo and Yo. But first, this.
Cover more ground and get more savings on the fast, durable Kubota Sidekick, gas-powered with a top speed of 40 miles per hour and outstanding acceleration and handling with cargo, all backed by a 2-year, 1,000-hour warranty. Get the Sidekick now for $0 down, 0% APR for 54 months, or save up to $2,000 now through December 31st. See Lingle Equipment or go to KubotaUSA.com for full disclaimer. Built upon a solid foundation of cast iron and steel, the Kubota LX series is part of our under 100 horsepower tractor lineup, rated #1 for reliability. They feature powerful Kubota diesel engines and easy operation. The durable Kubota LX series, now 0 down, 0% APR for 60 months, now through December 31st. Go to KubotaUSA.com for full disclaimer. See Kim Weiss at Lingle Equipment today. Call 989-754-7801 or mail kweiss@lingle1.com. Get year-end savings on Kubota at Lingle Equipment, 3001 Sawyer Drive, Saginaw, just off I-75 at the Caro exit south of the Zilwaukee Bridge.
Always a lot of comments, especially by the end of the year. Folks wondering what they should, what they shouldn't do. And obviously, many folks get a hold of their accountant, sit down and do a lot of chatting. On the line with us right now is Eric Sawatsky with Yo and Yo. And Eric, what seems to be the hot topic right now?
Yeah, Terry, obviously we're hopeful with the new Congress coming in that we're going to see some tax legislation that is helpful to our business owners and to individuals. So that's a big topic. And then there's a couple things with newer legislation that we're keeping an eye on because they seem to be changing by the day. I've mentioned a little on this in the last few weeks, but there's a new reporting form this year called the Beneficial Ownership Information Form. That was something that had a deadline of December 31st, and now a judge in Texas has put a stay on that law temporarily. So currently there is no requirement to file that form by December 31st. But we're waiting to see because we think the government's going to appeal that to the Supreme Court, and we may end up with some kind of filing requirement after all. So I guess if you filed it already, you're good. If you haven't, there is no current requirement, although the government says it will take the form voluntarily if you want to file it, or we can wait and see what happens. So that's another one that we're really keeping a close tab on because the penalties are pretty big if we don't file that, if that actually gets put back in place.
Yeah, and again, it might be one of those things where he says, okay, but by the 20th of January, you need to have it in. So just get it done. Yeah,
exactly. I mean, for most companies, it really doesn't take more than 15 minutes or so to do it online. But a lot of people are hesitant just because it's additional reporting to the government. So if it's not required, I can see why there's hesitation. But yeah, there's possibility we could still have to do it here in January or February. So just be aware of that, I guess.
You bet. Eric, have a nice weekend, okay?
You too, Terry.
We'll talk again. Eric Sawatsky with Yo and Yo Accounting. Over to Maple Hill Nursery we go. Chuck Servinski joining us right now. And Chuck, you've been a busy man over the last few days.
Yeah, we've had a lot of people coming in for end of the year savings on patio furniture, particularly, and we've got a different special going on every day from Monday to Saturday this week, and again next week, the same days. We call it the 12 Days of Christmas Savings, and today we've got $40 off all in-stock Pollywood rockers. Of course, the specials we've had in previous days will all be still in effect, and we'll have a new special again tomorrow, and then Monday through Saturday next week. You want to watch our Facebook page each day for different specials. And then, of course, we've got gift cards available for those hard-to-buy people as well.
And again, for more information, stopping by, what's your address?
We're at 2672 North Eastman Road, about 1.5 miles north of the Midland Mall, just past the Monroe Road intersection. And you can also give us a call here at the store, 989-835-4708. And, of course, visit our Facebook page every day for updates.
Chuck Servinski, thank you so much. We'll talk to you again next week. All righty?
Have a great week.
I will. We'll be right back.
Brian Grew here, your local Beta Seed sales manager. Now that another sugar beet harvest is in the books, I want to thank you for your confidence in Beta Seed. I want to hear how the hybrid you planted performed. Your feedback will help us keep developing the best traits to drive yields and manage disease on your farm. That's what we call next-gen breeding for next-gen confidence. I look forward to talking to you soon. In the meantime, you can learn more at betaseed.com.
Coming up at 12:30, we'll have a market update for you and also an update on the weather. Now we conclude our program with the playing of our national anthem brought to you by Euclid Avenue Coins in Bay City.
Broadcasting from the Stormmaster Exterior Studios, WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW-FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
I'm Steve Kathan. 84-year-old California Democrat Nancy Pelosi is in a hospital overseas. CBS's Stacey Lynn has that developing story.
The former House Speaker suffered